welcome to Aunties Unfiltered. I'm Deidre Malone.
I'm Twan Stout Mitchell.
I'm Gail Jones Carson, the youngest of the three.
Oh, no, you're not. I'm the youngest. But
That's
anyway,
the baby girl. That's the middle child. Y'all know the middle child is the problem child.
The middle child is the problem child. Always. Let me just say that. Okay, so this episode is the after the November 6th edition of
The
Aunties,
very next day.
Aunties Unfiltered.
I'm still
my
sleepy.
goodness. And if you're wondering why there's coffee and donuts in front of us, you know, I lost the bet, but that's okay. I bought coffee.
So, Joyce Peterson, you wanted to know if we disagree.
We do disagree.
But we tend to not disagree in public. She asked me that at the election commission last night. Yeah, I was at the election commission. I'm always at the election commission. And she asked me, I said, well, Joyce, we disagree. We just don't do it. I told her we can't do it in public.
We don't do it in public.
But we did have a good
everybody to know
coffee bet.
that Tawan and I won a bet. Deidre over there being the gangster Scorpio, not knowing, as I tell folks, you have to know when to fight, how to fight.
Oh, Gail.
Who to fight.
Gail, I know how to fight. I know how to fight, Gail. I do know when to fight. I do know when to fight. Okay, well, we're going to talk about the race in a little bit.
This was an unnecessary loss.
It was not. It was not. It was not.
Kirk, your mama got an unnecessary loss on her bet over there.
It was not. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, we're going to talk about the congressional races. Let's start with the 5th district first.
Okay, so in the 5th district, we have Chaz.
Chaz Mulder.
And we had the city councilwoman,
Yolanda
Cooper Sutton. And
Devontae Hill.
Well, did he make it all the way?
Well, he
was in the race.
For him. Yeah, people voted for him.
Oh, okay.
And
but I think he was 4th for 5th.
He was 3.
No,
No.
he was 4 because Rachel.
Oh, hold on.
Hurley was 3rd.
Hold on.
Oh, that's why she was 3rd. He was 4th. Yeah. Deidre,
Hold on. Look. It's right here.
I got my cheat sheet over here.
You do? Okay.
I'm sure I'm
5th.
right
Here we
about
go.
1, 2, and 3.
So the Republicans had Charlie Hatcher and Andy Ogles, and that was an upset.
Oh, wasn't that a bonus, though?
My God.
I was just like,
Charlie
there
Ogles
is
got
a God.
46%.
Gillian gave us a bonus.
Yeah, he got
move him out the way.
46%, and the winner, he got 53%. It was a Charlie
There were too many
Hatcher.
character issues for him.
Well,
And it was too much for the Republicans, evidently, because he had the backing
great for the
of
Democrats,
the
though.
president,
Okay.
Trump, and they still couldn't do it.
No,
Okay,
he still
talking to the mic, y'all. Talking to the mic.
Okay.
So Charlie Hatcher is former commissioner of agriculture,
Right.
business owner, farmer. So he's going to be going up against the Democratic nominee for 5, and that's Chaz Mulder. And
And so the Democrat, he is the Democratic nominee.
It's going to be a tougher race for Chaz.
Yeah.
But
I think he can pull it off.
it's a better caliber of candidate.
But the good thing about Chaz is that in addition to him being an elected official, Craig Fishew, who is his father-in-law, is a mayor, and he also was in the state legislature for many years.
Right.
So people up and down the 9th congressional district in those small towns and cities and stuff, they know them. They know them because now the 9th congressional, they're in the 5th. But anyway, the people in that district know them.
Well, kudos to Yolanda Cooper Sutton, Devontae Hill, Rachel Hurley, Carrie Ann. Is it Kamoni? I don't know her last name. I probably got it wrong. But they, all were in that race with Chaz Mulder.
Yes.
So
Yes.
good
And
Democrats.
that's a new district for all of them.
Right.
And they all presented themselves fairly well. I will say this.
Well, we
When
only
you're-
had one person in there attacking folks.
Well, when you're running for office, too, you want to leave an impression so people will want to see you the next time
Right,
around,
right.
even if you lose. And when you don't
Right.
do that because you're bitter
Yeah.
or you're backbiting somebody else or, well, I was just as disappointed. When I lose, I haven't lost one, but if I lost the race,
Well, I done lost plenty.
if I lost the race, I would still be offer congratulations to the winner.
Oh, absolutely.
And then move
I didn't.
forward so
Backstabbing
people will
folks.
want to see me the next time around.
Yes.
Now that's my style.
And I think I did the same thing. I mean, I
No.
campaigned.
Scorpio,
I campaigned
the
with
gangsters.
Joe Ford.
Now, Joe Ford, you did, and
Yeah.
I was insisting on we gonna be together.
Absolutely.
You went to churches with
I
Joe.
did. That's what you do.
What about the mother?
You
people?
sure did. You were a
Oh
good
no, I
sport.
won. They didn't support me.
Oh, you mean Kenneth Whalum and Steve Morrow?
Uh-huh.
And
Steve
see, that's
Morrow
when I
did.
think a bad
Oh,
attitude
okay.
is an ugly heart.
That's right. It doesn't work. And so in David Kustoff.
Well, let me point out something right quick. In that race, you and Kenneth Whalum was black, Morrow was white. And then in another race I saw, in a judicial race, there was 2 black females and a white. So people automatically assume that if one white come in, they're going to split the vote. But you won that primary, and this black female won this particular race, even though there was one white. It doesn't always work depending on who's
That's
in the
true.
race,
That's
and
true.
also depending on what the race is.
That's true. That's true. Okay. So for Congress, House of Representatives, District 8, David Kustoff is going to be going up against our Heidi Kuhn. All right, Heidi won the Democratic primary for 8 against, is it Dewey Gordon and Jordan Hinders and Leonard Perkins. So Heidi.
It was 4 people in there.
Yep. So Heidi's the Democratic nominee for 8.
And, well, she won with 51, almost 52% of the vote.
She did. And then let's go to 9 because that's where.
Wait, but no.
Oh, you wanna go?
Yeah. So
Wanna talk
she's
about Heidi?
Yeah.
Okay.
David Kustoff is well established. He's the incumbent. Will we be able to have enough money in that race? Will Heidi be able to have enough money in that race to be competitive?
Well, I'm hoping that money will come in from across the country to support us trying to get this seat.
I'm sure money will come in, but will the national people
That's what
see it as a competitive race to invest heavily
Because
in?
that's
I
what
don't
they
think
always.
so.
I
Yeah.
try to tell people that some folks wanted Kamala here a few years ago. I said, this is a red state. Even if she wants to
Yeah.
come up, people are going to allow her. So they're going to look at the races that are truly competitive, that they can truly win. And if they see that there is a chance for any of our congressional, 5, 8, or 9, if they're truly competitive, they're going to come in with some money. If they don't, they're going to focus their attention on the races that are close that we
Yeah.
can possibly
That's true.
win.
That's true.
That's how it makes
Yeah,
votes.
it's when you spend your money on investing in candidates, it's just a business.
It is.
How likely is
It
this
is.
person able to win, and where and how?
Well, I think Heidi has a shot. So,
Well, I'm not saying she's not. I'm just asking.
I think
those
she has a
questions.
shot.
I do too.
I'm just asking those questions.
Oh, and those are valid questions.
But I got a shot.
Yeah.
So what I would like to see though is
Yeah, the
between the
running.
Democrats and the Republicans, what percentage of the independents are in that district that she possibly could sway?
Now that's a good question.
Right. And she's a seasoned elected official.
And
And
with
then her
you know,
husband,
and
Matt Cohn, he real good
Yeah,
with
he's-
being a seasoned plus.
And-
Exactly.
He was my guy.
Yeah.
and the moderate Republicans. Now I think Kustoff sees himself as a moderate Republican.
He's MAGA.
No,
He's
he
MAGA.
has
He
gone
has
He's
gone
MAGA.
MAGA,
He's
MAGA,
MAGA.
MAGA.
He's MAGA.
But I think he came into the office being the moderate.
He did. But that party, some people have had to lean toward another direction in order for them to be reelected or for them not to be primaried.
Right.
And for me, it's not about being primary. It's about me being in an office, carrying out the duties and responsibilities of an elected official representing people and not making votes and doing what other folks you want to do so I won't have opposition. And we had this on the local level, just really upset me. There's so many people down here vote to be re-elected as opposed to voting for what's best for this community or going along to get along because they'll say some stupid stuff like, well, you know, it wasn't going to pass. Well, I don't care. I love Martavius Jones. When he was on the city council, whatever he believed in, if he had to vote by himself, he did that. He wasn't trying to go along to get along. He voted his conviction. And I just think,
I felt the same way. I felt even when there was so much pressure from established leaders to vote for a service master to take over the school system, janitorial services, and not only janitorial services, but cafeteria services. When they wanted to privatize all that, 3 votes. I knew we were going to lose.
Right.
but you voted
But
your
I
conviction.
knew-
voted your conscience.
I had to vote my conscience.
That's right.
My conscience said if we start here, before I know it, they will be privatizing all those jobs and people who were making good living wages and could buy homes and live in this city would be making minimum wages and no benefits, and it happened.
Right. Okay.
You have to vote your
I just
convictions.
need to let
You
y'all-
got to vote your convictions. This show is 30
gotta vote
minutes.
your-
Let's talk about this.
No, but we need to talk about this right here. As you talk about that important vote, wait a minute, D, this is important.
Okay.
Okay, as we talk, this your show. I mean, you can. I'm just saying, you can go over. We ain't got no commercial.
No, but I
See,
don't have a lot of time today. So
oh,
go ahead,
anyway,
Gail.
just as you talk about that key vote that a lot of people may not remember. So I am going to be working to make sure that all these legislative bodies, that there is a scoreboard keeping up with these votes, how people voted, who they voted
Oh, if
with.
everybody did that, we need that.
That'd be
in order
important.
to do a
Analysis when it's time for them to be
exactly.
reelected.
And say, well, this is what you voted on. This is how this is going to happen.
And so, Gail,
It's going to happen.
The NAACP used to do that.
It was
A
a
dashboard.
scoreboard.
It's a dashboard for all
It was
these.
done, but over
Yeah.
a period of time they stopped.
That's true. That's true.
But I'm at the Urban League.
But
and the
we were at a
NAACP.
point
I
that
know
we
you
thought
are.
we had black leadership, so we could trust that they would vote the right way. But that is not always the case.
Well,
That's
it's
all
not today.
kinfolk ain't-
It's not
Us
today.
kinfolk ain't
Thanks, kinfolk.
kinfolk.
Okay, so the race for Congress, District 9, LaTroy Williams, London
You're
Lamar,
going too fast.
Justin Pearson,
Say that name
Jim Torino. And so that's the reason folks got coffee, because
That's
I
the reason we got
lost
folks-
my bet. So, but it was a good race, hard fought race. Justin Pearson is the
There
Democratic
was
nominee.
a lot of dirt thrown
I
there.
don't know nothing about that. I'm just gonna say. I don't know about all of that. I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna say Justin's been running for a year, and that's wonderful, and he's the nominee.
Because you know why? You know
and
why
so,
he was running for a year? Because he
I
was
do know
not
why.
afraid to take on the incumbent.
I agree.
Everybody else wanted to be a
agree.
congressperson, but was afraid.
And I
to step
think
out.
people
That's
have
the
Well,
truth.
okay.
I think people have a lot of respect.
Let me sip my coffee.
Yeah, you need. Let me
I
sip
think
your coffee.
people have respect for both of those candidates, and I'm glad to see
Yep.
London won re-election for Senate.
Me too.
But I also think he started early. He was willing to take on the giant.
He was.
And being willing to take on Steve Corn when he did, and then the lines changed, and when the lines changed, all the people crowded in on him.
All of a sudden.
I think citizens said, this is not right.
And
It's
then
they have a right to run,
they have a right to
Everybody
run.
has a right to run.
but
see-
it's a matter of respect. And I think
and it's
citizens saw it as disrespectful.
Well, and not only that,
And they wanted a voice.
It's the crowd
They wanted a
mentality
voice
too.
more
It's,
than
it's
they
the
wanted
crowd
a
mentality too. Why
legislator.
can't everybody work? You see what I'm saying? I know people have a right to run, but I also look at people's motives. That's what I do.
And I think they wanted a voice more than a legislator at that time.
Which we don't have much voice down here on the local level.
Well,
that's
so he won the primary, and let's
want to move on fast
And
today.
no. Seriously, he won the primary. He's going to be in a hard fought general with Brent Taylor, who's the Republican nominee, and I'm a Democrat all day long. So you know how we roll.
But the thing about
And-
any of these positions are hard fought.
Right.
I don't care who's running.
And
Ain't
Brent
nobody
is
gonna
a
lay down
hard
and give you nothing.
campaigner.
Oh my God!
And
Where was
he
he
is-
election night? He was
Yeah.
in Franklin, Tennessee. He wasn't in Shelby County.
he's going
He was
to-
in Franklin, Tennessee.
That's where Brent was.
Yeah.
And he is going to fight for every vote.
He's
and it's
gonna
not
fight for every
going
vote.
to be
Well,
a-
Justin is
It's
too.
not going to be a pretty race either.
I don't think it is.
But I think Justin.
Well, I just want
I'm glad how
Justin to
Justin
stay right. I don't
kept
want him
his
attacking
head up
nobody.
and ran a good race this time. And I hope he will not be distracted and keep his eyes on the goal.
Right.
Well, it's my understanding he has a really good campaign manager, so
That's good.
I'm sure
Who the
she'll
ca-
keep
I-
him. I heard it was somebody from Chicago. So
Oh, really?
Yes, her.
You from Chicago?
I know, and I heard she's very sharp. So I'm sure she's gonna keep him focused.
Is she like Olivia?
Oh, I don't know. I look forward to
Well,
meeting
she did a good
her.
job thus far.
I look
That's all I
forward
can
to
say.
meeting her. Okay, so let's get to the Senate races
They
and
got some hard politics
and
in Chicago.
They really
straight
do.
up gangster.
Politics.
You
That's
know,
cutthroat politics.
oh my goodness. So London did win her seat in the Senate back. She was running against Tamika Abram, right?
But Brent also won
He sure did.
his seat as well.
And
Right.
it's well deserved.
And Joe Towns ran for 2 seats, and he won both of them.
And Ramesh is going back to the Senate.
good.
And
She
then
didn't have
David
opposition.
Weatherspoon, though, is going to be challenging Brent, for his Senate seat as the Democrat. David Weatherspoon is the Democrat running against Brent
For his Senate seat. Okay.
for his Senate seat. Yep. All right. So Jesse Chisholm won his seat. It looks like Justin Pearson won against David Page.
I like David Page, but I
Karen Camper and Larry
Yeah,
Miller.
that's my
Yay.
I don't know, I should call some of them
Tori
names.
Harris won over Ariel Gibson Martin, one of our babies. She got in that race and had a good fight and had a good race, and Tori was able to pull it off, right? And
What was the margin in that race?
and that one, Ariel had 28% of the race, 28%, and Tori had 71%.
He's an incumbent, and he's also the person who took out John DeBerry when John DeBerry was no longer. Well, when he took him out, was he a Democrat? Had to be he was de-bonafide.
Yeah, he was.
He was
de-bonafide.
also the person involved in restructuring the law for the school board.
Who, Tory?
Yeah, take over too.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
So he was involved. He was involved. Oh,
He was.
I forgot.
I forgot about that.
I'm not in that
Me
district
either.
anyway.
Well, here's another one. Here's the upset for the House Representative District 96. Talisa Franklin beat Gabby Salinas.
That
it was
was
55
amazing. That's a
to
big-
44%.
That's a big upset.
Big upset.
Big
But see,
upset.
the first 2
But
years
she-
ago, that was a close race 2 years ago.
It was.
So it was a comeback race, and Talisa Franklin, Dr. Talisa Franklin,
Dr. Talisa.
works hard in the community.
and that's true, and I don't disagree with you, but I also think that Gabby messed up. I don't know.
How
even
did
if
Gabby
she-
mess up?
e-
Okay,
e-
we can let me drink some coffee on this because we can
Yeah,
really get into it.
we sure know, but that's not Joyce. That's not what we disagreed on. We finna disagree right now. Anyway, shit. Now, Deidre, you can sit there and make up stuff all you want. A
I
ballot.
don't make up stuff,
Wait,
Gail.
anyway,
What do you mean
anyway,
make up stuff?
Viewers, a ballot went out with Senator Gabby Salinas' name.
She's a
on
state
it.
rep. She's a state rep.
I don't promote.
Yeah,
State rep. And on there was a Republican. On her Democratic ballot was a Republican against Democrat state rep Joe Town.
She made a mistake, and she acknowledged she made a mistake.
She said that her campaign, somebody in her
Oh,
campaign.
no. She said somebody in her campaign put it together, but she, of course, approved it, and she acknowledged she made a mistake.
Well, I didn't see that.
She
I
did.
didn't see that.
Hell, I know. I read it.
Wait.
Before it was...
Well, you're going to have to show it to me
yeah,
when we get
Okay,
yeah.
now she
'Cause
may
I
have
ain't
made a
seen
mistake.
that.
Made a mistake.
I
But
know it was a
that was
mistake,
a
and it
critical
backfired on her.
mistake.
And so,
Yeah.
And wait a minute now. People have been asked not to run under the Democratic label
because of
because
stuff like
of
that.
that kind
And
of
that
stuff.
part that everybody was coming at her about that.
and she could have found herself in that situation.
Whoa. She reprinted the mail piece
How
and
many
mailed
days
it.
later, though, Deidre? How many days? How many
It doesn't
voters
matter
had
how
out?
many. It
No,
doesn't matter how many
people,
days.
Deidre?
She
How
made a
many
mistake. She
people had
acknowledged the
voted?
mistake, and she reprinted the mail piece and distributed it.
That's her, yeah, I'm just letting y'all know she has a relationship
she
with her, so
probably
she gonna
lost some
defend her.
points
And I
from that.
don't dislike her one way or the other.
She probably
I'm just
lost some
telling the
points
facts
from
of
that.
what happened.
I'm
And-
telling the facts too, Gail. I'm not sitting here lying. I'm telling the facts.
Okay.
The facts are she made a mistake, acknowledged the mistake, reprinted the ballot, and mailed it.
How many people had voted by the time it was?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
Every vote matters.
It
You said
probably
every
would
vote
have been
matters.
difficult for her if she had won too with her colleagues because of that mistake. You really have to be careful of what you send out with your name on it as
sure
an elected
do.
official.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to acknowledge that, and we're going to keep it moving.
All right.
She made a
Yeah,
mistake.
'cause
She
these now,
acknowledged it.
We almost fell out about another race. We might fall out about this
We're
one
not
right
gonna
here.
fall. We're not gonna fall out about this race. We got 10 minutes left in the show. We're not gonna fall out about this
We're
race.
not gonna fall out by the end.
Let's
of it.
talk about the Shelby County mayor's race.
Okay, so let me tell you what my issue about that. I felt like McHale was gonna win.
Yeah.
But what was sad about it is, I don't know when black folks gonna realize the Republicans don't take them serious as their candidates. John D. Berry, he raised $30,000 in the primary when he had no opposition, and he still was at $30,000 in the primary, in the general, against a Republican. They did not support him. They did not support Charlotte Burton. She been running as a Republican I don't know how long. And did she come in at the bottom this time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Folks keep running
she
over
did.
there
She
thinking
did.
they're going to be accepted. But they not.
Yeah.
Well,
And you can't say, and he ran against a black Democrat, and they still didn't support him.
Well, that's what I say. What I think I said a couple months ago. She was going to be reminded that she was in the 7% or the 9% of blacks who didn't vote.
Well, we was in the 92%,
We
so
were
she
in
had to
the
be. She had to be.
She was in the 7%. 1% was probably but she was in the 7%. And they reminded her, and it's really embarrassing
sad.
because for
It's sad.
30 years, ever since Harold E. Ford Sr.
She's been running.
She has been running
Yep.
for them. And they have
And
been
them people keep
voting
running
for
over there to
her.
their party. They are not
But
studying.
once
They're
they
not.
got anybody else,
Don't even need them.
they showed you who they
Exactly.
what they thought of her.
Look.
And I thought that was horrible.
McHale won what? But 68% of the vote? I don't have my glasses on. And John D. Berry had 30 something. 66, and John D. Berry had 33%. And McHale ran a strong campaign. He didn't take John for granted at all. He ran a
And I
strong
was glad
campaign.
to see that. And I said,
absolutely.
from the primary up until the general, I kept saying because Democrats outnumber Republicans in Shelby County. However, it's not about the numbers; it's about the turnout. So you can't ever, and I constantly stayed on that. You can't take the Republicans for granted because
Right.
once you take them for granted, you get off focus and you're not doing all the work that you need to do. And you could easily look up and the race not be like what you wanted to do.
You know, he ran a strong campaign, and I wish him well because the county is in need of some strong
Yeah.
leadership. And he was once the budget chair last
was.
year, and we are
25 million.
25 million in the hole, and we've had to borrow money twice to pay payroll, which has never been done in the history of the county and the city since the yellow fever.
And Mayor Hampton was so upset about it. He don't ever speak out about this stuff, but he hit hard on that right there about black leadership in Memphis.
Well, let me just say what I'm excited about McHale being the mayor. He served 8 years as a county commissioner, so he understands that legislative piece.
And
so
the
now
budget.
he's in the executive suite. And so my hope is that he's going to build relationships with the new commission that's coming in and be able to move some stuff, because that's really what it's going to take.
And I don't disagree with you.
Right.
But I do know the budget belongs to the legislative
It does.
body.
It does.
Not
It
the
does.
mayor's office.
No,
he can
no.
submit a budget all he
He
wants, but they
submits
have
a
to
budget.
prove it.
That's
up or down.
right.
Exactly.
And
That's the reason relationships are important.
And mayors
And they-
submit a balanced budget.
Right.
They have a way to pay for everything they ask for. And when the city council or the county commission starts picking with the budget
And it start
tearing
getting
them
out
out
of balance.
and
Exactly.
do not line those things up, you'll have a catastrophe.
So let's talk about who's going to the commission.
Did you want to talk about the sheriff race?
Oh, yeah, but let me talk about the commission first.
Okay.
So you got Rhonda Odell, who's a former staffer with the commission. She's going. She's a Republican. You've got Derek Mills. He's a Republican. He's going to the commission. These are two new folk. You have,
Mills is new?
yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's
Amber's
Amber's
husband.
husband,
Mhm.
yeah.
Who is this? Is this Michelle Dial?
That's a new person.
That's a new person, Republican. I think she's replacing Mick Wright, maybe. And then you have Mark Billingsley. He's coming back.
He was on there before.
Shantae's
I really
coming
like
back.
Mark
And
Billingsley. He really
can
tries to
on
work
both sides of
work
the
with
aisle.
everybody.
Yeah, he does.
He just
a
wants
good
what's
guy.
good for the county.
He's a good guy. Charlie Caswell's going back. Henry Brooks is going back.
And she won by 80-something
She
My lady, Miss
85%.
85%.
My
Yep.
lady, Miss Brooks.
And then I saw Commissioner Will Richardson today. He's going to be
And he
new.
won by 80-something.
He
also.
sure did,
I'm so
81%.
proud of him.
And then Karen Streeter. Yep,
She's new.
She's new.
What was her numbers? Did?
That's
Karen had, 99%?
Oh, wow.
I'm
And
scared.
I'm going to let you read this name. That next one.
LaShante Rudd is new on the commission.
Okay, we can go on to
What
the
was her
next one.
percentage? Did she have opposition?
She did not.
She did not have
No,
opposition.
not for this
Nothing
one.
needs to be said. Move on.
Does
Move
she?
on.
Oh, okay.
Miss Clay Bibbs is going back, right? And then Erica Sugarman's going back, and then Tawan, you can read that next one.
Who is that, D?
Amber Hewitt.
Amber Hewitt Garcia.
Yep. She
going
won.
back?
She won. She actually, that was Mike Whaley's seat, right? So she won by 62% of the vote.
So
It was a
somebody
Democratic
saying-
seat.
So we're supposed
So
to
it
have
stayed.
9 Democrats on the commission,
Right.
but it won't matter.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh, yes, it will, because Urban League is going to keep a scorecard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep a
Dashboard, baby.
scorecard.
Dashboard.
That-
All right. Okay.
We're gonna keep that, but I'm telling you, we have been in the majority. Well, let me say, Democrats have been in the majority on the city council and the county commission, but they ain't been running it. At the end of the day, look at the votes. They ain't been running it.
All right, Gail. So talk about the sheriff's race. They're telling me we've got 5 minutes. We're going to go a little bit over, guys, okay? All right.
You can take out the arguing between me and her. But anyway,
No, we're going to keep that in there. Because people need to understand.
Okay, so y'all, moving on. George Peterson, make sure you watch this show, man. Anyway, regarding the county mayor's race, sheriff's race, Anthony Buckner won, and the guy he ran against was Brad.
David Les, wasn't it?
David
Brad
Les.
Les.
Brad Les.
Brad
So
Les.
I expected Anthony to win, but not by the margin that I thought. But the Republicans, they didn't support him either.
No, I didn't expect for him.
saw him.
I expected him to win by a big margin.
You did?
Because he was following in footsteps of Floyd Bonner. And those votes that went to Floyd Bonner, and he always got crossover votes. He was going to get.
I'm gonna have to call you back. I'm being recorded.
And so that did not
On a
surprise
TV
me.
show.
Yeah.
What is going to surprise me is the kind of leadership we may see from his being in office at the helm as opposed to Floyd. We will see a difference in operations. We will see a difference in the decline of deaths. We would see more people on staff, rotating hours. I want to see that.
Well, so this is what I learned because I didn't know him before. Not that I know him personally now, but I didn't know. But I have learned that he has been at the sheriff's department 40-something years, and I think that's what the person told me.
Was it 24?
Is it 24? Well, okay, did you tell me that? Well, either way, he's been there a long time. That's the only place he's ever worked.
He's a young guy.
He's had different jobs.
Yeah.
So he knows the operations
Yeah.
of the organization. He knows what's best. And sometimes folks want to say, well, you're the number 2 person when stuff messed up. Well, a lot of people ain't letting the number 2 person run nothing.
No,
they
that's
ain't
true.
making no final decision.
That's true.
Whatever happens, the buck stop with the number 1 person.
That's true.
But what's good about him is that he has worked himself. Did he work for the FBI too?
I think it did. But let me say this, Gail. It's so important to me that you citizens realize when you have a high rate of deaths or incidents at any job site, from the police department, fire department, or the sheriff's department, people have to settle lawsuits with those folks.
That's true.
And when you settle lawsuits, then you are settling it with the taxpayers' money,
Yes.
which could impact your budget.
That's true.
Because you didn't expect that.
Yeah.
So it's important for leadership, and I think this was what Dr. Harrington was trying to hit at too. We need the kind of executive leadership that knows when you need to retrain people or set in new policies and procedures to make that number go down instead of going up. And our numbers for lawsuits are going up, 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 up.
So I'm glad you brought that up because there's this company that's a Fortune 500 company. This young lady told me, she's an executive. She said every month the company looks at the lawsuits, what departments they're in, who's responsible for them, and then it's initially used as, say, you got 10 lawsuits in public relations, you got 10 lawsuits in planning.
That's a problem in leadership.
So what they do, they use it as a learning
And sexual
part.
harassment
Yeah.
lawsuits can hurt you
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they initially use it for learning because if this is happening so much like in customer service, it's a problem over there. If you having all these lawsuits, especially internally, there needs to be some training or some movement, and not moving people around, because that's what a lot of folks do. They move them around instead of resolving the problem. So that's what people need to look at. And I made that recommendation at one company I was at, is let's look at what these lawsuits are. But since it was government dollars or people dollars, they didn't care. It wasn't private. The person who told me about it, she was corporate America, so they're trying to reduce their
costs.
Exactly.
And we need to be concerned about the citizens' costs, because it could set you up in a situation we're in now, having to borrow money to pay payroll.
Okay, so
I don't
I'm
want to miss any races for
so
people to come back and be mad.
That's the
at
reason
us.
I'm just going to name some that don't have opposition. So our circuit court clerk, Jamita Swearingen, 98%. Our criminal court clerk, Joe Towns Jr. won that by 67%. Juvenile court clerk, Janine Gordon, 74%. She won by 74%, right?
And she was listed as a Republican for a while. On some communications.
Probate court clerk, our guy Eddie Jones, is going back. Now let's talk about this one for a minute. Our Shelby County, our county clerk of Shelby County, Dr. Lasagna Hall. Whoop whoop! So happy that she was able to pull it off by 66%.
That was good.
Our Register of Deeds, Willie Brooks, 98%. And then,
No comment.
okay.
I love it.
All right, and we got some school board members too, right? For District 1.
Ooh, I can't see. Oh, McKissick. And why does she have to run again next year?
She got to run again next year.
I read somewhere.
She ran this year.
Maybe she's running for, I think, a state position, like on a state
Maybe
board.
so.
Maybe
but
that's
I read
what
that
it is.
somewhere that she has to run again. 2 positions come up again next year.
Okay. And then you've got T.L. Harris, one.
Okay, so let's talk about T.L. Harris for a minute. So I was talking to somebody, and they couldn't believe that he was being elected. And this is my thing about T.L. Harris, because I didn't know T.L. Harris before this election, even though he went to school. He told me he went to school with my 2 sons. But anyway, it was so much negative stuff out there about him. I mean, my God, people just poured on him, piled on him. They probably brought up stuff when he was in his mama's stomach. But they attacked him and they attacked him. But it didn't work. And he represents Whitehaven, one of the most educated blacks in the state, one of the highest income blacks in the state. So
Black
people
communities.
knew,
Yep,
because
black
his stuff was
communities.
out there. And not only did he win, he won by a large margin. So people, and a lot of times black people believe in giving people a second chance. I don't know if that's what was it, but I know it wasn't nothing like stuff was hidden, and then he got elected and people found out. People heard this stuff about him every day.
87%.
But they still voted. He won by a large margin. By a large margin.
Sometimes you win and lose based on who's also in the race. Now, let's just be honest with
So
you. And he
who was in the race?
I don't
Frederick Tappan was in the
and
race. Didn't he run as a Republican?
see. I don't know anything about him.
I think
but,
yeah.
But sometimes you win and lose based on who's in the
running
race,
again, yeah.
and you have a stronger chance. But he's
still-
won. He's elected. We need to support him. And if you not satisfied, you have another opportunity in 4 years.
Okay, so and then we've got another new face on the school board, Tanya Frey. Excited about that, right?
Do you know her?
I've met her.
I've met her too.
Well, I posted something.
because Tawan Stout Mitchell told me I needed to meet her.
I've met
and
her.
I met her,
well,
and I like her.
Well, y'all know I post a lot of stuff on my social media page, and that race I had posted on my page. So I've been told by the commercial people, don't post no more whole articles, so I don't post nothing from there. So, but I posted that before.
Let me take
I
some
was
coffee
told
real
not
quick.
to post the whole article because they want you to go to their link, but I'm not doing that. It's too much free news out there.
And then Joyce Coleman, Doris Coleman.
She's an attorney, and she's always been very active with
Who's Joyce?
No, Tanya.
The other lady. Okay.
And has always been very active with PTAs in that district. And it seems like somebody else was going to run. They dropped out at the last minute, and the parents and community around there sort of drafted her because she was working for the other candidate.
Oh, okay.
And
she was.
and they wanted her since he was dropping out. And I always think whenever there's a community pushing it, you have a good chance of winning.
Because you have a lot of people say, well, people wanted me to. What people, you?
Okay, so
Sometimes me and God is enough.
I say I want to run, and I'm doing it.
And God told me
to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
So last we've got to wrap this up, right?
minute, did
So
we
we got to
get
talk about the
everybody?
judges. We got to
Oh,
talk,
we gotta talk about the judges. Okay.
Judges races, and I think that's it, right?
I don't know if we need to talk about judges.
Okay, well we can do that at the next show.
Well,
If you want to.
we can talk about the judges.
Well,
I wouldn't mind.
let's go down the line. Let's do
Okay, we
we
gotta wrap it
start
up.
with you. We're gonna start
1 minute. 1 minute.
Okay, because then we got to wrap it up.
I'm excited about Taylor Batchelor and Sheila Purefoy.
Me too.
I'm excited about a lot of the judges that won that were Democratic judges.
It was like 6 or 7 judges.
Yes, so I think we did well overall, but I was disappointed that I could not see Mitzi Pollard, magistrate of juvenile court, win this time. But I always say when you have a loss, there could be something else down the road for you.
That's true.
And I'm going to keep hope alive because she's a good quality candidate.
Gil, you go next, and I'll close it out.
Well, the problem I had with that race was the attacks and stuff on Missy Pollard.
Yeah.
Even by black females, some who were saying we already got enough black judges.
It was horrible.
And then some of them were her sorority sisters. So I was very disappointed in that. I hated to see the things that happened to her in that race. But even more so than that, I am very, very upset with how the Election Commission handled those races. Supposedly, now it was like 6 or 7 judicial races on the ballot, but they kept talking about 4 races. Some sending out 700 or 800 ballots with those races not on the ballot. Then they talking about one machine in one location where 300 votes weren't counted for the judicial races. Now, if that's true, those numbers, that's 1,000 votes. So some people had to win by more than 1,000 really for it not to be a major challenge. But I don't believe the election. Why should we believe them? First of all, we know about some of the stuff being wrong because a candidate called it out. So it's not like the Election Commission volunteered that this was happening. And you think they're going to tell you that it was worse than actually what we've been reported? Do you really think they're going to tell the truth?
I think the Election Commission needs to do something about the director of the Election Commission. Because these problems did not just occur this one time. And we have had something every election in the last 3 or 4 elections, and it's time for some serious performance appraisals.
And I think that the state law that says that if the majority party at the state legislature should have the majority number of election commissioners at a county level is ridiculous. We are a Democratic county, and the majority of the election commission is Republican. That is absolutely ridiculous. 2 things we forgot. Jay Bailey is going to be the new assessor, and Joseph Lee is the trustee. So I wanted to mention that judgeship. That's my judgeship I want to talk about.
Oh, Jay Bailey the second.
Jay Bailey the third. Grew up with my boys.
Okay, I didn't know that.
He's the second. He's the second. Okay, the second. Yeah, legacy. I mean, 36-year-old.
Wait a minute. If people were attacking him, DJ.
Yes.
And so I had to go on there. I said, remember, you are DeArmond Bailey's nephew. You are Walter Bailey's son.
Grandson.
Don't be distracted. And
Right.
then people wanted to talk about how few years he been practicing law. And I love to tell this story right here. So when Jane Chandler first ran for judgeship, you had black elected officials and other folks taking her opposition who had been a judge for 16 years all everywhere. And you had black people complaining that Jane had only been practicing law 3 years. Well, I was doing my freelance, or I was using a ghost name, but I was doing my freelance writing for my Tri-State Defender. So I did my research, and I love Sarah Kyle. But Sarah Kyle had practiced less years of law than Jane. And she had become a judge.
Story.
And not one black person, not one slave said a word about it. But they wanted to attack Jane. And that was before they saw Jane going to stand up and fight for herself.
All things equal.
That's what I'm saying. But anyway, so then you got people, black folks, complaining about Javier II. Well, until there is a law or something's passed that say you have to have a minimum number of years before you could be a judge, He good. Everybody good. You can come straight out of law school and run for
Yeah,
judge.
I'm so
There
proud
are
of
no
him. He
requirements.
ran a
Well-
heck of a race. I'm very proud of him.
And then unfortunately, they do tighten up rules and regs when we start entering in.
Because when they did them before, they never thought about
Nope.
us being here. They
that
didn't
does
think
not
long
mean
term.
we don't need some rules and regs.
Yeah,
but they tighten
right
them
now,
up
yeah.
on us.
But
tighten
But
them
let
up.
me say this about, and close us out, about the magistrate at juvenile court. I read something once that said, those women who said there were too many black women and we don't
Too many
need
black women judges.
judges and we don't need any other black women judges, and worked against her based on that,
I think it was some female
you lose
stuff.
your shine when
Yeah.
you throw shade.
Yeah.
Some of them didn't
and-
have no shine.
And I just want them to know
They
they
have no
lost
shine.
some shine with me. They
Yeah.
lost some shine. With me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could ever endorse them again.
Yeah. Well,
They probably
and
don't care because some people think they are. They think they can't be touched.
Well,
But ask Elon Musk.
well,
Everybody can
and
be
Gail,
touched.
and I think our endorsements are important endorsements.
Well, they tell me Elon Musk was crawled up
I
in
think
a
when we
corner
endorse people, I
crying
think
like a
that's
baby the
important.
other day.
Well, I have to endorse quietly. But that don't mean I don't hit folks, and I don't mean I don't hit them.
Because you hit them and you hit them
bet
hard.
it.
This has been a fun show. Aunties Unfiltered, right?
Yes.
Let's
My
close us
girls,
out.
my girls.
Y'all close us out.
I'm Twan Stout Mitchell.
Gail Jones Carson.
And I'm Deidre Malone. Thank you for watching Aunties Unfiltered on the Carter Malone Network.
Aunties Unfiltered, y'all. Respect the legacy.